everyone, my name's Eric. I play guitar here at Rock Harbor, Costa Mesa. I've been playing here for a couple years now, and I just wanted to go over just some basics with you about electric guitar, about what kind of amps we use, what kind of pedals we use, guitars, some of the sounds and style we're looking for, and some general tips and tricks that some of us players have picked up over the years to kind of develop our own style. So I hope you find this helpful, and let's get started. Alright, so we'll start off talking about guitars. This one in particular is a Jazzmaster. This is my #1 guitar. It's my go-to. I love it. It's got P90s in it, so it's got a really good growl and bite. It's a little bit hotter output, so you get a little bit more gain, and you can dig into the strings a little bit more, and you can get a little bit more amp overdrive on it. I also really like Telecasters, like a Nocaster, or some of the older Tellies. They sound really good as well. You get that good like country sound, twang, but it's got a lot of good bite. It helps you really cut through the mix. So if you're competing with a lot of instruments like drums, bass, keys, and whatnot, you want to make sure that you really stand out. So a Telly or a Jazzmaster will really get you there. It'll kind of put you on top of the mix, so people could hear you. A few of us here also really like Gretsches. They have Filtertron pickups and Bigsby's. Some are hollow bodies, some look like Les Pauls, and that gives you like that really nice vibey tone. If you've got some like delay or verb going, you could like really lay into it and make cool like swell whale sounds. We're really big on that for vibe. And also some of us use Gibson Gold Tops or Les Pauls with Bigsby's as well. Those just have huge monster classic rock tone, but you can clean those up really nice and make them sound pretty. And they're really good for rhythm guitar, they're good for lead guitar, just all around they sound really good. So we can move on to amps. So this one in particular is a Vox AC30. It's got that classic British sound, EL84s. A lot of guys use Vox amps or Vox based amps. A lot of guys like the Edge or the Killers, or a lot of guys in the worship community will use Voxes. It's just really classic. It's a go-to sound. It's really distinct. It's 30 watts. It's huge, so it can go really loud, but it has the Celestian Blues in it, so you get that nice like U2 chime. So you've got delay going and some overdrive. You just really bell-like, really natural, kind of organic sound. A lot of other amps that we use here are Morgan amps. Those are really popular. We like those a lot. Fender Deluxe Reverbs, Little Supro amps, Teixeira amps. Those are all really good amps. Marshall amps are good. Orange are really good. Some of the newer Fender ones are really good as well. But for the most part, most of us use EL84 based amps. It's just kind of a go-to worship sound. Most of your favorite albums, I'm sure, the guitar player in one way or another used an amp that has EL84 tubes in it, so it's kind of the go-to standard worship sound as well. So for pedals, you can use just a whole number of things. This is just what works for me, so what works for me may not work for you, but it kind of has the basics here. We've got a volume, we've got an overdrive, we've kind of got a boost overdrive, your standard tuner. We've got a digital delay that does a couple different sounds. We have a tape delay, and then this one is a reverb and tremolo in one. So these, like I said, are just standard overdrives. I usually like to run these with the gain pretty low, and then I'll run the volume higher so I can push the amp a little bit more, so I get more amp tone than a pedal tone, just because I think the amp sounds nicer, and I think the amp is kind of the core of your sound. So if you've got a great sounding amp, you really don't need to do much to it to make it sound really good. For this delay, I can store up to 4 different delay sounds in here, and it also has this cool tap tempo switch. So if we're playing a particular song and I want the delay repeats to be in time with the drummer, I can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that will put me in time with the drummer. So that'll help, like if I'm doing like a dotted eighth lead line, or if I'm doing some type of particular line that's played on an album like a Phil Wickham song or a Hill song, They're really big on lead lines. I can kind of tap that in and get that similar tone. For this one, I really like the digital, the classic digital delay. It really cuts through the mix. It does that great U2 sound. The analog delay on here sounds really good as well. You could do great swells with it. You can do like a Memory Man type sound. This is kind of like your Swiss Army knife delay. It does just about everything. So this one as well has tap tempo. So you could do dotted eighth sound. You could do quarter notes. You can also get it to sound like an old tape machine. This is what this is based on. So you could do a multi-head setting, a single setting, and a fixed head setting. So there's lots of cool options here. You can make the tape sound really old. You can add in little artifacts, like little charms that the old tape delays had, so you get that really cool signature sound. So this is a really diverse and unique pedal, kind of the staple of some of our sounds here. So this is an awesome pedal to have. And then this one, like I was saying before, this is kind of a 2-for-1. On the left side we have tremolo, and on the right side it's got reverb. So the reverb on this one, I really like the 80s setting, and I'll kind of set it, you know, like this. I'll have the treble all the way rolled off, so it's a nice dark reverb. It's great for swells, great for slide parts. Really love that sound. It also does a cool spring and a plate reverb, so if you really like some of those country parts or some of the old kind of rock and roll parts as well, you can get a great reverb sound out of this. And then on this side is the tremolo. So you could do tremolo speed, you could do tremolo intensity. This sounds great for little lead lines during like down verses or down choruses. It's great for swells, and it's just a really cool added effect that gives it just like another cool layer. So yeah, so I really like this one, the 2-in-1. Doesn't take up too much space, but kind of fulfills a lot of needs, so I really like this one a lot.